Well, butt roast or pork shoulder was on sale today. Well, the other day. I bought 2 of them, and I wanted to make a quick video of how to remove the bone and make capicola. So I just cut you out. I just rinse this off, get some of that gooey, whatever brine crap they put in this. I always like to clean it off. Alright, so we got this. Alright, so we got boning knife and a fillet knife. I always start on this side with the bone. The bone is shaped like that. You can feel it. It kind of goes like this, and it has that little deal right here. So, all right, it's hard to do this with a camera in your face. So I can feel the bone poking into there. I was going to start with this. So what I'm really wanting to do is this main part right here. That's going to be the capicola. And so, well, here, I'll use a fillet knife right here. A boning knife would work fine too, but gets my hand out of the way for the camera. So right here, I'm hitting the edge of the bone. You can feel it goes right here. And well, I'm going to make the extra part of this just into pulled pork. So I'm just going to cut this bone out just like this. Now we'll trim that up for the capicola, and trim this up real quick. So you just follow the bone. So that's real thin right here. You can even save some of this for making sausage or whatever. So this is where that curl happens. And now this should just cut straight like that. Okay, let's turn around. And, well, cuts in right here. It's not perfect, but all right. So if you're grind this up, got some more off, but for the most part, a little meat there, but. Or you could make a soup stock out of this, but that's just the bone. There's a tiny bit there. Well, some of this is you don't want. It's more gristly. The other part's fatty, but I'm not gonna point it out. But yeah, or you throw that outside for your stray cats. So, all right, so this I'm going to save to smoke or even put in a pot to boil and stuff. Take this piece off, nice big piece of fat. All right, so right here, I thought I fixed this cutting board, but just follow the fat line here. Yeah, it's still recording. Good. I guess I'll go down this one. Well, I'm going to cut it a little tight. So that's what I'm going to save. The video I watched, the guy was all anal about following the fat line exactly. I'm just going to cut it right here. So most of that grain goes there. Got the fat part here. I'm going to get rid of some of this fat. And this is the hard fat. That's actually good when it's dried out. This is all right too, but I'm just going to even this up a tiny bit. And hoping that camera's facing the right way for this. That looks pretty good. So we got that, and this is probably 50% fat. So that would make good sausage. So I'm just gonna weigh this. I forget what it weighed originally. Okay. Well, the cabinet door might not have cleared. Ignore all the stuff on there. No, you can't see shit. All right, so normally I have this in grams for doing pizza. We're just going to go 100% ounces. 73.7 ounces. So it's 4.5 pounds. Well, 73 ounces. Okay. And I'm glad I'm recording that because I never know how much I start with the capicola and how much it weighs when I'm done, which is something that I should be doing. Pause it. All right, I'm going to do the second one. Maybe I'll say or do something different. Like every time I make pizza, it's slightly different. Like I did before, I'm going to clean this off. There we go. Using my knuckle to hit the play and pause button. You really don't need to dry it off, but just gets rid of the slime so you can handle it better. Man, this cutting board I'm not very happy with. Keeps on sliding around. All right, again. All right, we got your bone here. Sticking out right here. Oh man, I even have the towel underneath. Here, 1 second. I got to do something about this. All right. There we go. That works. All right, so here's the one side of the bone. This is where it splits up and does a little deal there. So, oh man, I just got slime on my hand. 1 second. You definitely don't want the knives to be sliding in your hand. So. So it goes up, down, and then does the little curly. My biggest thing is to get to the end of the bone. I can feel it. It's right there. And Find the end of the bone on, whoops. No, the end of the bone's right here, but, well, it's right here. So let's just do this. Every time slightly different. I go to the slicey one. All right. Yeah, doing this slightly different than the last one. It's just how it feels and where things are going. Oh yeah, that's right. Last one I just cut the bone right off. So I got that. So this bone goes up here and then goes down. It curls and then it goes this way. And then that way. I know I'm not showing very much, but you do enough of them, you just feel it. I'm not a butcher. I'm not doing it perfect. It's just come on. Right. See, that's fat that you don't want. Sore skin or tendon. So I already cut through that. So dink. So, ooh, I felt a piece of bone. Where was that? When they cut this off, sometimes they cut it off where there's a fragment somewhere that's not part of that part of the bone, but it's just a tip of another. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe well, all right, well. So this is going to be ground up for sausage or smoked pulled pork. And wow, that's nice getting dull. For the most part, save an ounce here or there, but you know, there's a tiny bit there. Like I said, make a soup broth with that. Now we're back to this thing, and we're wanting to separate right here, and I'm going to go with so we're going to go down like right here for right now. Yeah, it's most of the fat line. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to save this on this piece. That'll go to the sausage pile. And let's see. Well, this is a bunch of fat here, but I think I'm just going to cut this piece off. So I cut this a little different than the last one. I think the other one was cut at a different angle from the animal. So I'm going to cut it through here. This is just a fat line. And when it wraps up, it'll be nice and tight this way. I'll cut this little piece off, just so it wraps nicely. You can go into just forever cutting stuff off, but oh no, that's gonna look bad. Knives aren't that sharp. That looks pretty good. So we got that guy. Oh no, now I'm sounding like Sam the cooking guy. Damn it. So that's the same angle. So in this one, now you can see that I left a little more fat on this one, and these are cut a little different here, but this is both right shoulder or whatever, or left shoulder, but you can see how similar they are. This one has a little bit of this. That's this part here. And then you got this fat line that go underneath. You got this line here and this line here. Yeah, well, that's not a fat line. That's fat going, or I mean the muscle going this way. This actually on a deer, would be one of the roast. You cut that part off, and it's a roast. But on pig, it's a lot better with all the fat. So that's nice that I got two that were both the same side. And well, this goes underneath. So yeah, you can see. Yeah, so they're both the same side of the animal. So that worked out for the video. Now I'm gonna salt them. All right, so I already got some pink salt added into the salt that I'm using. I've already had this open. So, you know, about 25 pounds, and this is what I'm using. So, this is a bread proofing container. Well, I'm gonna throw down some salt first. So I think it's a good idea to buy 25 pounds if you're planning on doing something like this, because I believe it's only like $12 for 25 pounds. And if you buy that at Schnucks or, well, whatever store that's around you, you buy it by the one little half-pound containers or whatever, it costs you $100 to do this kind of stuff. So, getting started. Make sure I get it in all the little crevices and smushed in, and you know, in 12-14 hours, that's the recommended time to have this salted. Over more than that, and I found out the hard way, the meat turns rock hard and it's extremely salty. So, and like I said, this already has just a tiny bit of pink salt in it. The other YouTube channels I watch, they don't do the pink salt thing, but since I have it, might as well use it for safety, and you know, that really I guess locks up the hemoglobin or whatever crap shit. Ooh. So got that. I'm gonna top it all off, grab the rest, probably put a little more on top. Well, not probably, that's what I'm doing. And this just going to set at room temperature in the basement, which is like 65 degrees. Humidity's, yeah, I don't know, 40, 50. And tomorrow, so it's 9 o'clock now. That's 12. Well, it's going to be a little longer. Hopefully it doesn't get too salty. As soon as I get home from work, or maybe tomorrow morning. Well, that'll be less than 12 hours. I don't know. I'll figure it out and figure out how salty it ends up. By the way, this is a 3-month video when it's finished. Pause.